got Munashe,
Hey guys.
Savannah, and myself, Sean. And today we're going to be talking about an important shot to have in your arsenal if you want to exceed to the next level and become a better player. And that's the low stinger. And we just happen to have a nice 4-club wind today at the Royal Quebec. You
Not
can see,
shocking.
you can see by Savannah's hair blowing all over the place.
Yeah.
We don't have that problem, unless the cap blows off, of course.
Right.
So we're going to show you a driver stinger, then the next hole is a par 5. So the second shot here should be about a wedge, and I'm going to show you how to do a wedge stinger. Then the next par 5 is going to be another driver stinger with a long iron stinger, and then finally a mid-iron stinger on the 9th hole, which is a nice par 3, so that you have a really good idea on how to hit that shot. So without further ado, I'll do a demonstration first, and then Munashe and Savannah will make their best efforts. We're in the process of working on this shot right now.
Yeah.
Right? So the wind is coming basically from 9:30, 10 o'clock. A nice strong wind from the side. I'm going for the left bunkers on the left-hand side of the green, and I'm letting the wind drift it back toward the flagstick, and I want to keep it below the level of the trees. So normally we'd tee it a little higher than that, and we would set up to catch it on the way up. So we got a nice high launch with low spin. The tendency with many of you with this shot is to try and hit down on the ball, and that's really what you don't want to do, because as you hit down on the ball, you're going to create a lot of spin. So the ball's just going to balloon, hit the wind, and go straight up and drop like a butterfly with sore feet, no roll. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to sweep through the tip of the tee parallel to the ground. So we're using, and all the new drivers today are very low spin. So we're sweeping through the tip of the tee in the direction of our intermediate point. So I've got a nice little pine needle there as my intermediate point. And I'm going to go left half of that pine needle. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to sweep parallel to the ground. So my eyes are on the tee. I can see that I'm in a position to swing parallel to the ground through the tip of the tee. And I gotta keep the ease very, very prominent. Don't want to hit hard on this. So it's gather smooth and swing through smooth on the tip of that tee. Here we go. And that's exactly what we wanted to do. So we got a nice knuckler going straight for that bunker. And I'm telling you, I probably have less than 100 yards into this green. So notice how the tee is still there. I wasn't hitting down. I'm just sweeping through. So let's have a look at Sav and Moo. Oh, that's perfect, Sav.
Nice.
That was a bullet. Nice low trajectory. Perfect execution. Well done. Well, the picture looks so good there. Nice. Hey, not bad.
Not bad.
Well done.
Thanks.
Nice little power fade. About half the height of the trees down there. Well done, man.
Thanks.
All right, so we're 97 yards from the pin. The pin's all the way back. We got lots of room on this green. And when I took my pitching wedge out, Moo says, isn't that too much club? Right? Because
Yeah.
you're thinking, oh my God, pitching wedge.
Yeah.
Because I hit it 140, you hit it 150, 155.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so the instinct would be, oh yeah, I'm going to take a lob wedge out and throw it in the air. And this crosswind, this 4-club crosswind, is just going to take that sucker and rip it right into that bunker. And then,
Yeah.
if you turn a nice birdie opportunity into scrambling for par and getting a bogey.
Yeah.
So if we land it on the front of the green, keep it nice and low, and then let it roll, take 2 nice hops and then trickle to the pin.
Okay.
So the technique here is one of our favorite analogies is the door frame analogy.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the arch of your foot.
Okay.
So put your foot out in front of the ball there for me.
All
Okay.
right.
So yeah, there we go. So I want to take this ball and I want to squeeze it through the arch of your foot,
Yeah.
squirt it down there, right?
Yeah.
So, or you could use the door frame, you know, a piece of wood, whatever. So I'm using the weight of my arms and club
Stay along the ground.
to squeeze through that door frame and out toward the picture.
Yeah.
Now, second thing we want to do is use Goldilocks.
Okay. Yeah.
So if we look at what would be, it's okay,
That's okay.
what would be way too little momentum to get to the green? That will never make it.
Yeah.
What would be way too much? That's gone way over the green.
Yeah.
In between. How do you like it?
That's a good one.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
So now, bring that. Of course, I need my intermediate point. Yep, got one. Right there. So now I'm just going to use that much momentum to squeeze through that door frame in that direction, or squeeze underneath the arch of your foot.
Whoa.
See that?
Yeah.
And there it is. Just a little left of the pin, about 10-15 feet, but you notice it landed on the front of the green and it rolled pin high.
Yeah.
Did you see how low that came out?
Yeah.
The wind will never touch that.
No.
And when you have no problems in front of the green, you got lots of green to work with,
Yeah.
this is the shot to do.
Okay.
So you do 10 of these, you'll put 10 on the green. You
Right.
take 10 lob wedges and you're going to get very different results.
Okay.
Want to give it a try?
Sure.
All right. So find your intermediate point.
Yeah.
Don't do like me.
Yeah. Use this guy.
Yeah, there we go. So you tell me when you're ready.
Okay, I'm gonna do Goldilocks.
Okay, well, let's get the task first. So I'm going to
Okay.
put my arch there
Okay, that's right.
and feel like you're going to squeeze it down under my arch. What would that look like? There, do you feel how it's going to stay low underneath the arch?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now you can Goldilocks it.
Okay.
Way too little. That was too little? Yeah, that's too little. Good.
Too little.
Way too much? Nice. How do you like that?
That was good.
I like that too.
Yeah.
So use that much momentum to squeeze it through the door frame with the weight of the arms. Oh, dude, that's perfect. Right in the center of the green. Nicely done.
Wow, that was cool.
Wasn't that cool?
Yeah.
See how low that came out?
Yeah.
Awesome. Sav? Come on, Miss Wedge. Really good strike. Just a little too much momentum. Just at the back fringe. Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Well done.
Thanks.
All right. All right, here's a little stinger on hole number 8 so you can see it from down the line with a righty because the lefties are a little overpowering. So I'm going to do just over the left edge, just over the cart path right there, and let it come back toward that big pine tree in the distance, keeping it at the level of the trees, max. Playing the ball just a hair less forward than usual, club face maybe a hair closed, but the key is to keep it sweeping through the tip of the tee parallel to the ground in that direction.
Nice.
Boom! How good was that?
That was
Well done.
so good.
Whoo! So that drive actually turned out way better than I thought. So I was expecting to be around 180, 190 yards from the green. We're 155, dude.
That's pretty good.
Those freaking, you got to join us Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings on our Facebook channel. We got one heck of an awesome workout routine by yours truly here. And dude, it works.
Yeah, it's showing.
How about that?
Yeah,
I've never been this far on this hole.
Yeah, it's a long,
Ever.
It's a long par 5.
And we're into a big crosswind here. So really happy with this. Yeah. So 155, a little uphill. Normally, what do you need for Moo to do? Come on over here, Moo.
Okay.
So I've got 155 up the hill, pins in front. I don't want to mess with that pin because look at how the green slopes all the way to the front. So I want to take it a little bit past this pin. So we're going to hit this 160. And if we look at, well, what's the 160 club? Normally, my 160 club, my 155, 160 is about 9 iron.
Yeah.
It's a nice hot day too.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's your pitching wedge.
Yeah. It's something along.
And so let's say 9 iron, 8 iron,
Yeah.
8 iron, 7 iron. So well, let's go 2 extra clubs. We're going to go 7 iron. We're going to keep this nice and low, and we're going to play a little fade in there. So normally with the fade, I would play the ball just a hair forward to center. I'm going to play it dead center.
Okay.
And I'm going to hood the club just a bit. And if I'm just going to take it just a little left of that flagstick, and the wind should move it back. If it does, I'm going to try and keep this lower than the trees.
Okay.
So I'm playing the ball center and then staying left of the flagstick with a nice full 7 iron with ease.
Yeah.
If I hit it too hard, it's going to spin too much and it'll balloon.
Right.
Okay? So nice 7 iron, just past this pin on the left side of it. Got my intermediate point, ball center, face less open than a fade, basically like in a neutral draw position. Now I'm just a nice low throw that way. Oh, stay.
Stay.
Catch the right side. Yes!
There you go.
So
Roll
because
down.
I had the right club, I caught the right side of the green just over the bunker. I got very lucky on that. Let's see you do it, Moo.
Okay.
So for you, it'd be a nice little trap draw, Moo.
Yeah.
Aim for the flag,
Yeah.
release a little left of the flag. Yes, and I encourage all of you guys out there who are not used to using an intermediate point, do exactly what Moo just did. Put a little pine needle just in front of the ball. He's going to skirt the left side of that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well done. You have my permission. If you play a tournament, you can't do that. But in the meantime, you need to know how to line up and how to deliver. Yes, sir. Look at you, buddy. Oh,
Hold on.
yeah.
That wasn't bad. That was
Right
pretty-
on the fringe.
Yeah. Right on
You
the
got
front.
about a 25-foot putt straight up the hill into that pin.
That was cool. Thank you.
Well done, man. Position. Now, do you feel that alignment, aren't you going to push it a lot more to the right or to the left?
That feels better.
I want you to just hug that sucker more. There we go. So now, do you feel like you can swing and sweep it low in that direction?
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. Come on, wind. Nudge it a bit more.
That was the club.
That was the club. You just caught the left side of the green. You got an easy long putt or a little chip from there. So there's Sav's ball here. That's a pretty easy up and down. Moo's right there in front putting, and mine's over there on the right-hand side putting back. So we have two eagle opportunities, and Sav, it could be an eagle opportunity, obviously, if she chips it in. So all in all, we got 3 easy birdies here. And so remember how we're bracing against the door frame, right? So have a look at my hammer through video. So hammer through Sean Clements, an oldie but goodie. We got my favorite piece of lumber there and how we're squeezing through that piece of lumber nice and low and in the direction that we want to go. So let's go to number 9. I'm going to show you how to do this on the tee box. Okay, you guys. So notice how I teed my ball up. I teed it behind a divot. And I like the deeper divots because I'm going to be coming through the ball, through the tip of the tee, squeezing down and through that divot. And I'm actually going to open up that divot a bit more so that I keep that ball nice and low. So it's a really nice image for you to have. It's very important that you're able to, very crystal clear, see what's on the other side of that ball, because for most of you, what's beyond the ball, you're thinking, not important. It's hugely important. So it's like if I have a lawnmower and here's the blade of that lawnmower moving around its center, well, after it cuts the grass, it doesn't stop, it keeps going. So it's the same thing here. I'm moving down and through that divot. So I'm playing the ball. We're going to play a little trap draw into that hole here and hold the ball against the wind. There's a lot of swirling wind in this corner here too. So if you've got a golf course with swirling winds, low ball flight is much, much better for you. You keep it out of the trouble and you have that nice little knuckler going in there that's going to be, not affected by much. So I'm going to go right through the center of that divot, ball back, close the face a bit more, and I'm just going to let the weight of my arms and club squeeze the ball through that divot into that picture. See how nice and low that came out?
Yeah, very nice.
There we go.
Wow,
Come
nice
on, it's
roll.
cozy up to the pin. So I'm just a little bit past the pin, and I got about a 25-footer from the left-hand side. Mo, you can use the same divot.
Okay.
See how low that came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually have the divot as your intermediate point now. Good. Not bad. Didn't trap it enough.
Yeah.
But
Coming back though.
the wind is okay. Bunker.
Bunker, yeah.
Not too bad. All right, Sav. Yeah. Now we calculated your Super 7 from this. We're at 170 from the pin. But it's a little downhill, but the wind is swirling like crazy. It feels like it's behind you, in front of you, to your side. So ball back of center and stay through that divot. Oh, that's perfect.
Nice. Great shot.
Come on, hit the pin. Oh, Sav gets this one big time.
Well done.
8 feet left of that flagstick. That was supreme. Beautifully done, Sav. You notice how much lower that shot was?
Yeah.
So who says those Super 7s can't be worked,
Yeah.
right? When you really know what to do, you know how to keep it low, you swing and smooth, take the spin off the ball. What an amazing demonstration you just put.
Thank you.
There's Sav. Look at the beautiful birdie opportunity she has. I'm over here, and then Moo is back there, just about pin high in the bunker right there. So we're going to tidy this up, and we got one more surprise for you, which I know you're going to really love because this is what makes Tiger who he is. This Stinger fairway wood, and I'll do a little bonus Stinger 3-iron off the tee so you can get a really good gist of what that is. So a very famous golfer by the name of Lee Trevino, who, I grew up watching, he had those low stingers with his fairway woods, and he says, never be afraid to take a divot with your fairway wood. Okay?
Yeah.
So we're used to sweeping them off the ground, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice little skip along the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But here I did the same thing. I teed it up behind a little shallow divot,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna, you remember that analogy with squeezing under that arch?
Yeah.
I'm squeezing it under the arch, and we're really into the teeth of the wind here. This is a
yeah.
very narrow hole. Number 10 is one of the, low handicap holes. So I'm going to take it right through the forward tees here, and I'm going to keep it nice and low with a little bit of a draw. I don't want this ballooning anywhere, so I'm not looking for a fade. I'm looking for a low draw. I'm going to start it over the right side of the forward tees and back to the middle. So I'm playing the ball a little back, so basically almost center, closing the face, and now I'm feeling that I'm going to be squeezing through that divot in that direction. So with ease, of course, always with ease into the breeze. That's perfect.
Yes, sir.
That's perfect. Oh,
Well done.
I love golf. It's so much fun. See how that stayed there?
Yeah.
That came right back, right in between those two. You're up. Give it a try.
Okay.
Perfect, Moo. That's the divot, dude. Oh, yes!
That was nice.
Oh, my man. You are
Thank you.
such a fast learner.
That was cool.
What a privilege it is to coach you.
Privilege to be a student.
That's awesome. That was A1. First shot. We're one-take wonders here at Wisdom in Golf. All right, Sav, you're going to go over the left edge of the forward tees. Nice little draw.
Yeah.
All right, stinger draw hybrid. Very good, Sav.
Stay.
Took off a nice and low, overdrew a bit, but you're beyond the trees there and you got a nice opening to the green, no problem. You see how low that stayed?
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right. Very good. All right. The pièce de résistance. We're doing a wonderful stinger 3-iron. You have 4-iron. That's your lowest iron in the bag
Yes.
for now.
For now. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think with your kind of juice that you've just acquired,
Yeah.
we will want to go to at least a 3-iron, if not a 2-iron. Right? So notice we have trees on both sides. If I'm too far, I'm in the bush. So this is not a driver or even a 3-wood off the tee. It's a nice solid 3-iron. But because of the wind of today, you can feel it's nice and sheltered in here. It's nice and quiet.
Yeah.
As soon as that ball hits over the trees, see ya, because you can see the trees over there being bent like crazy.
Yeah.
So we want to keep it below the trees with a little low fade stinger for me, a little
Okay.
low draw stinger for you.
Right.
So you're actually turning your 4-iron into a 3-iron,
Okay.
and I'm turning my 3-iron into a 4-iron.
Oh.
Okay?
That's right, because the fade is
Yes,
different.
exactly. So I am trapping it under that arch again, right?
Right.
Remember that analogy?
Yeah.
So one thing that you want to keep in mind, the longer the irons become, you got to be careful that you don't keep your hands at the same distance. For all of you out there who are trying to keep your hands about a fist away from your thigh, you're not going to have much success with the long irons. You're probably struggling with the long irons because that's a perfect distance from hands to body with the wedges or the short irons. So you do a couple of practice swings back and through and see where gravity wants to deploy you. And if you want to make sure, you're going to look at one of my videos called Football Drill. All right, check out Football Drill, Sean Clement. I want to have enough room for my elbows in front of me. So then I bring that to the ball, play the ball just about center, and I'm going to squeeze it through that arch and just to the left edge of that cart path and let it fade back to the opening of the cart path. Here we go.
Wow.
Perfect line. It just stayed straight on me. Oh, good. And because I'm a smart man, that ball is left center of the fairway and didn't go in the trees, and I got a beautiful shot going into the green from there.
Yeah.
Menashe.
So if I'm doing a draw, do I want to be back?
Just
to
a hair back, that what you normally have it, just a
Okay.
hair.
Okay.
And, you know, when we talk about draw back, the center of the club, the center of the stance is here, the ball just at the back of that, and you close the face.
Yeah.
Now you're approaching it naturally from the inside,
Yeah.
and because you've got that low image in mind, we're just going to go around that cart path.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect. So, what was the last thing going through? You finally missed one, Moo.
Yeah.
You are human.
Yeah.
Sav, could you go get another ball for Moo? So, what was the last thing that went through your mind just before you swung?
I felt like I was aimed too much to.
And you went anyways?
No, I had made the adjustment. I moved more,
Okay.
I made the adjustment.
Then what?
and then
What was the last thing that went through your mind when you were ready to swing? Squeeze through the arch?
yeah, squeeze through the
You were?
door front.
You
Yeah.
were trying to squeeze down and through?
Yeah.
Okay,
but I didn't
good.
release. I didn't feel like I had a good release.
Okay, good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Let's see that again. So you may want to close the face just a smidge more because the ball's just a hair back further in your stance.
Okay.
So play it a little more close than what you're normally used to.
Okay. Let's do a practice swing.
Yes, please. So notice Moo gets his distance to ball. See where that club's passing?
Yeah,
He
right
sets
here.
it down first, and then he wiggles his way in. Inchworm, that's it. Good ball position. Not too bad. So
Huh.
when you come through the ball,
Yeah.
what was the feel of that release that was missing again?
That zip right here, the release right here.
Yeah, so you remember the feel of that release, what it should feel like? Remember the baseball snap?
Yeah, the baseball snap. Yeah, right.
There you go, exactly,
So
right?
you gotta feel like that. Okay.
So you can't be guiding it, you know, trap guiding it, it's a
Yeah.
trap release.
Yeah. Okay.
So a really good analogy for that is when you're playing ping pong. So if I'm going to do a topspin backhand release in ping pong,
yeah.
notice how the elbow snaps down and the back of the hand snaps over the ball.
Yeah.
That's exactly the same as what I need. So let's say I had a sword in my hands, put
Yeah.
it in your left hand,
Okay.
and you slash the sword. Where did you feel that left hand cross over?
Right here.
Right. So for the left hand to release, the right hand has to yield.
Yeah.
There's your topspin ping pong.
Yeah.
So show me that release now.
Okay.
That's it. So you're basically compress releasing it through the arch or through the bottom of that door frame.
Yeah.
So you're collecting the ball there
Yeah.
and releasing the ball low and into that picture.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
For those of you, we have another analogy for that. It's really good. You'll see an oldie but goodie. It's called throwing the club, Sean Clement. And then you got high and low shots, throwing the club high and throwing the club low.
Yeah.
So another nice task for keeping the ball low is throwing the club low. So for those of you who've never thrown a club before,
Yeah.
please consult those videos. Be safe, make sure you got a nice safe area, but it's super beneficial as you've experienced in the past.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Take that.
Well, appreciate your help, Moo.
No problem. My pleasure.
Sav, you gonna say goodbye? Sav says goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. No, you were gonna
See you
say
next week.
Take care. Yeah, I was holding on to that release.
Yeah.